You're standing in the shadow of a pyramid, the hot Egyptian sun beating down, and all around you the air smells of incense and roasting bread. But what if I told you the food on the temple altars wasn't just for the priests and pharaohs? Nope. It was meant for the gods themselves, the dishes that pharaohs believed could please a deity. Forget golden goblets and endless feasts for a second. The real treasures were food offerings, and trust me, some of them are pretty surprising. First up, bread. But not just any bread. This was a special recipe called tar, baked with emmer wheat, sometimes sweetened with dates, sometimes sweetened with honey. Imagine a cross between a loaf and a cake, dense, rich, and probably a bit chewy. The priests would leave these loaves in the temples, hoping the gods would absorb their spirit. Now, what's a meal without a little drink? Beer was absolutely essential, but Egyptian beer wasn't like what you'd find in a pub up north. It was cloudy, thick, and almost like a porridge made from fermented barley bread. The gods apparently loved a hearty pint as much as the people. But here's where it gets interesting. The pharaohs didn't just stick to the basics. They'd offer up honey, fresh fruit, rare cuts of beef and goose. Some temples had entire herds of cattle just to supply the daily offerings. Fish, though? Off the menu. Egyptians believed fish were a bit too common or even unclean for divine taste. And then there's the stuff that sounds downright magical. Lotus flowers were floated in bowls of water as a symbol of rebirth, and sometimes even eaten as a delicacy. Myrrh frankincense would be mixed into cakes or drinks to make them extra special. But here's the twist. After the gods had eaten these offerings, after they'd been left on the altar for a bit, the priests would take the food and eat it themselves. So in a way, the pharaoh's secret foods weren't just for the gods, but for those serving them too. So next time you think of a feast fit for a king, remember, in ancient Egypt, it was all about feeding the divine, and maybe, just maybe, sneaking a taste yourself.